Welcome in to today's edition of USL Pro Weekly. My name's Nicholas Murray. Very pleased to be joined by Chris Economides. And Chris, it's not often that the game of the week ends up as a draw, but that game between Richmond and Charlotte on Saturday night ended in a 3-3 draw. Pretty much as dramatic a game as you could hope to see out of a regular season contest. Great game.
Unbelievable. Richmond came in after winning the night before in Wilmington, so probably a little bit tired, probably a lot tired, but up 2-0. Charlotte came back, scores a goal in stoppage time to take a lead 3-2. You figure the game's over. Great comeback win for Charlotte. Richmond never say die, comes back and ties it up in the closing seconds. What an unbelievable game.
Great goal by Konashinovsky, and it was, basically the last kick of the game. They took the ball back to the centre, kicked off, and final whistle blew. So it couldn't have come any later for the kickers. Very positive performances from them over the course of the weekend by a couple of guys they have on loan from MLS. Brian Ownby with a goal and assist against Charlotte on Saturday night. The previous night, 17-year-old Michael Seaton from DC United coming out his professional debut, gets a goal, gets to show off the great speed that he has in that breakaway late in the game. So two very positive results, I think, for the kickers. Getting 4 points out of that weekend, very good for them.
Yeah, that Seaton kid's going to be one dynamite player. He showed very, very well in the game against Wilmington, obviously. Played great against Charlotte on Saturday night. He's going to be a special player to watch.
Now, speaking of special players to watch, Nicky Patterson is a guy that you always want to watch in USL Pro, and very good road trip for Patterson, very good road trip for the Battery. First of all, they hand the Harrisburg City Islanders their first defeat of the season, 2-1 last Wednesday. Then they go on and kind of battle out another 1-0 win against Dayton on Friday night. 4 wins in a row now for the Battery. They got a rematch with Wilmington this Saturday night from last year's USL Pro Championship game. How long do we see this streak continuing?
Well, that was a heck of a road trip, first of all. They are the defending champion here. So we haven't given them enough credit here or enough, props that they are the defending champion. Let's not forget that. Very impressive road trip. To go into Harrisburg, who was unbeaten and playing very well at the time, to win that game, and then go into Dayton, who's gotten off to a really good start themselves. Got to give it to the Battery with two big road wins.
Couple of very nice performances and kind of showing a little bit of depth on the team with Kevin Klazilla coming in, recording the shutout against Dayton, making a couple of very nice saves in there as well. So good for him, good for Odisnal Cooper to play well against Harrisburg on the Wednesday night and kind of show a little bit of the depth that Mike Anhauser has, especially with the new additions he's brought with the new addition on loan of Bryce Alderson from Vancouver.
No, that was a very tough road trip. Anytime you played at Harrisburg and in Dayton, I think a split they would have been happy with. They got to be ecstatic with the 2 road wins.
Now, speaking of tough road trips, Pittsburgh made the trip out west this past weekend, and it seemed as though this might be the start of a little bit of a turnaround for the Riverhounds, because they were able to get a late equalizer from Andrew Marshall in a 1-1 draw against Phoenix on Friday night. Then they go in and they kind of gut out a draw against the LA Blues, a scoreless draw, and LA certainly had chances, could have maybe grabbed a winner, but Hunter Gilstrap plays well in goal. Marshall and the rest of that back four performed very well. Marshall made a couple of very good challenges in the second half to help preserve the clean sheet there. So they've got 6 games coming up at Highmark Stadium now. They have a chance to put in a little bit of a run. Are we seeing signs of life from the Riverhounds that we thought we might see after their first game against Richmond?
Gutsy. Very gutsy effort by the Riverhounds to go on the road. Going across the country, playing, what's turned out to be a very tough place in Phoenix, then going into LA on Sunday to get a draw there. I think when you look back on the Riverhounds season this season, this will be the turning point, or the turnaround for their team. They played the majority of games, all of them, except for one game at home. So now it's time, they're going back home now. They're going back, I think, back with a positive, renowned energy after the road trip out west. I think they did a tremendous job in going out there and getting a couple draws.
And they had a nice fun cap to their weekend. I saw them tweeting photos from the Los Angeles Galaxy Houston Dynamo game on Sunday night before they flew back to Pittsburgh. So obviously a nice way to finish off the weekend as well as getting 2 points. Now we've got action tonight in USL Pro as the LA Blues visit the Los Angeles Galaxy reserves, and you can see that game on USL Nation at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific tonight. Hope you'll join us on Thursday for the USL Pro podcast, where we'll have guests Dom Dwyer from Orlando City and Christian Mazer from Charlotte. But for now, for Chris, my name's Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.